What are we talking about?
I don't know. It's
Um,
whatever you want.
what's the
Oh
podcast
man,
even called? Do we have a name for this podcast?
Prolific
the
podcast.
LimyTen's, LimyTen's prolific podcast.
Yeah. Pay
What
attention,
the heck does that
Daphne.
mean?
Jeez.
Oh no.
uh,
Oh yeah.
What's prolific?
It's like a. It's like consisting of a multitude of something.
Oh, a plant. Okay, okay. I understand now.
Aren't I smart? I'm so smart, right?
smart.
All right, Harrison.
Is it
Do
an adjective?
adject. I don't know. um, an adjective is wait. A verb is an action, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
an adjective is like the action of a verb, right? Or
No, it's
What?
well well you I guess like you feel like an adverb, but like an adjective is a describing word.
exactly,
Like
it
blue is an
describes.
adjective.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Cool. Anyways, uh, Harrison, you know how you have an intro and you like start off with whatever topic?
Have an
Just
intro.
yeah. Well, not really. It's just
Oh
you
yeah, right.
stating
Oh yeah. TBD.
TBD. What?
To
To
be
be
determined.
determined.
Oh, great.
I just feel
I
like
was.
welcome to the LimyTen's prolific podcast.
No, that's a.
Today's guest slash hosts are blah
No,
blah blah
stop.
blah
That's
blah.
a. That's a dumb intro. That's a boring intro. That's like
But
what
like
Yeah.
every
you
other
don't have one
YouTuber
just
would
yet,
do.
so like you should
Yo.
at least say
Oh, what do
something.
you?
No, our channel
Oh,
is
what do you?
only funny out of context. Otherwise, it's weird and cringe.
Yo, what do you? What do you guys think about war?
Well, I think it could be violent. That depends on what war we're talking about, you know?
One
Fun.
where like people die.
Oh, I'm
I
about
see.
to.
Like the
Speaking.
battles.
Yeah,
Speak.
like World War II.
Speak.
Oh.
Speaking of death, right? So no, this is still on topic of war. Okay, so I'm about to flex you guys with my war knowledge, all right, which isn't that much, but it's a fun fact and it's cool, right? So you know D-Day, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Wait? Okay, what do you think D-Day stands for?
I
Don't
don't know. What does it stand for?
Daphne, do you
Death
know?
Day.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people think, right? But it turns out, right, it's actually just Day Day because
Is that
in
is that like
the
something to do with
it's
German?
like the previous or the like the other days, right? It's like counting toward it, right? So it's like the fifth day, the fourth day, and then on that day specifically, it's just that day. So it's just Day Day. So D stands for day.
Oh, yeah, I see. That makes
Could
sense, I
it
guess.
could also be like 0 day
Yeah, it
or one?
that probably would have sounded cooler, but it's called D Day.
D-Day sounds pretty cool.
It does sound pretty cool until you hear what it actually means. But
So like war good or bad? Like war based, war not based.
pretty sure it's bad.
I mean, the death is bad, but like each side is kind of fighting for what they believe in. So I guess it's
I
good in their eyes, like on either side.
okay,
So
okay,
what is
okay,
good? What
okay,
is
okay.
bad? Hmm.
Hmm. Have you guys seen Saving Private Ryan?
I have.
I have not.
I think I have.
Oh,
I don't remember the plot, but I think I saw it.
do you guys know like the opening scene from that movie?
Isn't it D-Day?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then, oh, I remember. I don't know if it's the same movie, but I remember someone's guts were spilling out of their bodies, and they were trying to hold it in.
Jeez.
That's Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
one
That's
where
like
like
the
there's
one
there's
scene I
like
remember.
yeah, there's like that like guy on the ground and he's like you can see in his intestines and he's crying for his mother.
Yeah.
Like, Mama, Mom, I shouldn't be saying this with like such a like a
Enthusiastic
like
tone.
yeah enthusiastic accent because this is like I brought it up because I the first time I saw it I didn't see the movie but the first time I saw that scene I heard about the movie and I was like okay I'll watch the scene and I watched it. It was in eighth grade at Rectory and I was like I didn't know what I was getting into. But I was I like was shooken up. Like holy shit. I think yeah, that was and I watched it again recently and reminded me of it. And in watching it again, I'm like thinking a lot about just like how well done that scene is. Particularly like you know there's that like that very like it's like where the doors for the boats open is so just man just so like sudden and
The,
it like sets the tone really well.
the boats were actors.
Both were actors.
I think, yeah, most it really does capture a person's attention. I mean, if you're watching a movie about like war, I think most it's not the genre I like enjoy as much, but my parent or like my dad and my brother really like it, so I was kind of forced into watching it. I feel like I've been desensitized to a lot of like blood and gore for some reason. I don't know why. I just didn't react as much. I also watched it in like eighth or ninth grade around there. So,
Yeah,
but I
I think
still
it's
think the
like
movie was pretty good, even though I don't remember the plot.
yeah. I feel like I think what shocked me the most was not the gore, but I think like the instancy of it because I find like we see things like World War II, or we see like movies where like like war movies from Hollywood, and it's like it's still gruesome, but it's like it's more like it feels planned. It feels more like a game of chess where there are rules. But but like that the Saving Private Ryan was just kind of like like just like it doesn't cut any corners. It's just like as soon as the doors open, like entire boat was just like murdered. Like people like didn't even get to react. Some people were just like shot in the head immediately and fell to the ground.
No plot
Time
armor.
span of like one, like yeah, no plot armor at all. It's just the only plot armor was for the main character. Although what you do see, although then again, what you see is all these other men around him just falling to the ground instantly. Just like and apparently from what I heard, this is really fucked. The U.S. did, and well, they kind of had to do this. Is they intentionally, for the majority of people in the front lines, sent people who were newly enlisted
Mm-hmm.
because they were fresh minds, quote unquote. They wouldn't know what they were getting themselves into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. That's definitely a true story. They particularly do that to like the ones who aren't as good, because they're not gonna sacrifice like their really good soldiers. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
actually did
yeah,
that
yeah.
in Attack on Titan, right? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a perfect example. The only war movie that I've seen is Dunkirk. You guys seen it?
Hmm. Yeah, I've seen
Yes.
Dunkirk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen. I saw it like kind of recently, like 3 years ago, maybe. So um, I didn't really focus on the gore. Personally, I can't handle gore unless it's like cartoonish, which is like really weird. Like it can
Yeah.
be really realistic if it's like in an anime, but like in real life, I just can't handle it.
The thing I think is interesting about like what Saving Private Ryan does. Not to go off topic, but like there's almost this spectacle, as in just as like if you're seeing the movie for the first time, and up until history, unless you were a war veteran, the general public had never seen a war movie like that. So there's kind of this similar spectacle of the idea of what war is that is shared by not only the audience but the initial men on those boats in the movie. And then just as as soon as those doors open, it all just flicks to like everyone is just like dying instantly, not even a chance. It kind of that spectacle switches not only for like the characters in the movie, but for you yourself as an audience member, which I think is really cool.
I guess this
Silence.
shows like reality of war. So I get back to the first question, is war good or bad? This is the bad part of war. It's like seeing everyone die. It's kind of terrifying, just the thought of it. We only see like numbers now, like statistics of how many people die, but like we don't really picture each individual dying, you
Yeah,
know?
hmm
yeah.
But the good
I
part
think
could be like kind of like a conclusion to the conflict between countries or nations.
I will say that my initial question was somewhat rhetorical.
Oh, really?
I will say for the record, at least in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with arguing against this, but I think I think objectively, like war is just like there is no good to war. That's just my opinion. I don't think that we
I
can argue like benefit.
I disagree because things like having a civil war or something is necessary. You know what I mean?
Is it though?
Sometimes.
Is it is it necessary?
Yeah.
I think so,
Is it
yeah.
necessary?
Yeah,
Why is it
cause like
necessary?
sometimes if it's like a new nation or something, and they become like, how should I say this? Like dictatorly. How do you describe it, Daphne?
Well, you can have a dictatorship, usually all because of some sort of people revolting against it, like
Mm-hmm.
the
But does that
authority.
make it good? That's like you could argue like there's definitely an argument to say that like sometimes war or well I think like because then there's there's a difference between like you can have like an insurgence versus like a war because like the Civil War was less of an insurgence and more of like at least in America it was much more of like oh we're like completely seceding versus an insurgence it's just people trying to overthrow the government which in that case it's not good but one could argue that it's definitely it's a necessary evil in order to because if the government won't let up nothing you can do you have to do what you have to do
Mm-hmm. Okay.
good.
Yeah. Think about it this way: if we didn't have the Civil War between the North and the South, slavery would have been uh, slaves would have been freed, and like we would still be living in that
That's
era
fair.
of time.
Oh yeah, no one could argue it's necessary, but does that make it good? Does something being necessary make it good? Simply because something has to happen to achieve something, does that make it a good thing in and of itself?
You've convinced me. It's not good.
Hooray!
Daphne?
See, I don't really know the difference between good and bad. I've always had the question in my head. So I guess it's not good. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're
I
right.
think
Yeah.
The difference between good and bad is like a whole other debate that lasts hours. We're not gonna have that. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
Although I do for a second, I want to go back to Saving Private Ryan. Not to go a little off topic, but one of the things I just think I remember from that scene, watching it again, is that throughout the entire scene, even up until like the end of the D-Day scene, there's this nuance of just like occasional, just like specific areas where people are randomly picked off, which I think is really fascinating because it's like, usually things in war movies, it's clean, it's straightforward, it's Hollywood. But there are certain instances like, maybe they'll be running through, like two people will be having a conversation. One of them will just be shot in the head in the middle of the conversation. Or say like, they're like running along like as soon as like they broke through the beach and they're running along like the fortified area, like they'll be like running around along a trench and someone will just be shot, but they'll keep running. And I think another really good instance, which I think almost also somewhat, alluded at like empathy towards the other side as well, the Germans, like how it was also really fucked the troops on that side. It's like the Germans, it was like at the end of the scene, they like hop up and they're just like, we surrender. And as soon as that happens, one of the Americans just shoots one of them. Just one of them, and he just dies.
Damn.
It's just this like the subtlety of just like this like randomness. These very subtle things, just depicting like the chaos. It's unorganized. It's not a game of chess. It's just, it's indiscriminate.
Discriminant.
What?
Nint definition. An agent.
It's like
Characteristic that
discriminate.
enables things. Oh, I see. Discriminant. Okay.
Like indiscriminate means that like there's no that there's no advantage. There's no doesn't matter who you are on the battlefield. It's just anyone, anytime. There's no. It basically means like there is no real strategy for the individual in that situation. There is a strategy, when you go up as far as the chain of command, because the strategy was we don't really have there wasn't any other way to take the Germans fort. So the only thing we can do is really just rush the beach with as many men as we can. Basically, hopefully get the explosives we need to blow the beachhead and get through, and then hopefully at that point, set up a camper base at the beachhead. And unfortunately, as far as they were concerned at that time, the only way they could do that was just like throwing men at the beach. It was almost just throwing them, because like weapons didn't really do anything at that point. When you have a machine gun pointing at you at a downward slope, it's like I like how you play those RTS games.
Mm-hmm.
You have all those troops and everything. It's I guess it's not even like that, because there's some strategy, but it's like you have games like FPS games where there's a strategy to it. Arguably, you can take a couple hits, you can roll and stuff, but like I argued about this with my dad at one point. I was like, could they maybe have used the boats as cover, or could they have maybe had a couple men, could they maybe at least brought some cover with them, portable cover to plant down because they didn't have any cover. It was an open beach, it's just open wide. Anyone could just be like it was like there was no cover at all. You couldn't hide from the bullets. Like I guess there was those like there were those.
Craters.
What were they? They were like those. What I'm talking about? Those like spiky like kind of look like they made a like railroad
Oh,
track. Those like
fence.
those like fence X's that were along the beach.
Yeah.
Like that was all they had really. Like it wasn't even really a fence. It was more like the game Jacks.
Yes, yes.
It's like a big piece. It's like a big piece. One of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like a fence, and it's just they didn't really have craters. It was a flat beach. Before the war, it was most likely like the kind of beach you'd go to for like sunbathing. So just like a flat sandy beach, and then just like this tower with a concealed machine, like a couple of concealed machine guns, and basically, like I guess you were walking into bullets.
Mm. Goof, man.
Yeah.
Goof.
Like my dad told me a story that when my dad didn't fight in the war, but he was alive during it, and he told me about on television. He remembers seeing the president at the time talking to one of the young boys who was gonna go fight there, and he told all he basically said and what the boy they said in the interview that the boy was gonna be on the first boats that entered, and all he said to the boy was, "You're doing a good service to our country." Very well that the kid was going to die. Like in Saving Private Ryan, it's pretty accurate, but it is cut a little bit for like simply like the film would be too long. But like I could probably I can say with confidence that every single person in the first wave died. Every single person, every single troop died. It took all day, multiple waves of troops.
Mm-hmm.
Every undoubtedly every single person in the first wave was just brutally murdered. All
Mm.
of them.
Yeah, it's kind of realistic, but
Yeah.
less realistic time wise because wars usually last way longer,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
like
Well, although and
days.
this was yeah. Well, this wasn't a war. This was one battle. The battle,
Mm-hmm.
the entire battle itself lasted like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it was multiple. Well, because the battle lasted longer because even once I took the beachhead, I had to there's still like an entire camp with full of the Germ like of a fully armed German military. So remember there was one of the ones that was interesting to me was the medics in that movie.
Oh yeah.
One of the medics were there because like World War II medics, especially during that, they had like no supplies. They were useless. Really, like not to say like they were frustrated. In the movie, there was like this bit depiction of there were these like a team of medics just like on this like and like at the same time like thousands of bullets are being shot at them while they're just trying to save a dude who his stomach is spilling out of himself. And there's this scene of where the medic is just like, "You're not gonna die, you're not gonna die," and he's trying to tie him up. The other guy is of course like crying like, "I'm going to die," and then he dies, and then the medic is like, it isn't even like, so for some reason, like I guess you could argue that it's trauma or like shock, but like I feel like in that situation, like even be at the least frustrated is mind-boggling to me. Like,
You think the nurse's job is arguably harder than a soldier's?
well, yeah, Well, no, I'm not saying like frustrated as in like you don't have to be frustrated. I'm saying I'm boggled that they were only frustrated. I'm talking about like because if like and I was in that situation, I wouldn't even think to be frustrated. I would just be terrified. I would be like sobbing my eyes out at the fact that I was going to die. I wouldn't even be able to think about like saving another person, let alone myself. That's what I was getting at.
Mm.
Like frustration for that position seems very tame.
Well, I mean, if you're a nurse for that long, you've probably like dealt through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but like as hopeless as that, I don't know. Maybe.
The Demon Slayer movie in sub is coming out, releasing April
Yo.
25th. Let me finish my statement, Harrison, before
Okay,
you
I'm
interrupt.
so-
Yeah, it releases April 25th. I've never watched American Psycho.
I've wanted. The American Psycho guy kind of looks like Jerma.
No,
I know. Yeah, he does. He does look
he
like Jerma. He looks like Jerma.
Should I fill in Steven's voice again?
yes,
Yeah.
please do.
He really does. Caleb said he didn't watch it. That's why. I hate you, Caleb.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, American Psycho, good. Smiley.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch that. I want to watch that movie.
I've never heard of this movie in my life.
Oh, really?
It is.
We should have a movie night. I honestly I
should.
forgot what Steven sounded like again.
We like
Just think of Harrison, but not on drugs. Easy.
you should
What the fuck,
all
Caleb?
keep
I
that
sound
hang out.
cool.
Oh my gosh, you sound
Whoa.
exactly like Steven.
No, don't do that.
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
You
It's uncanny.
read Steven's
Oops, I
text
mean.
messages like Shaggy.
I don't know what. Okay, let me search up what Shaggy sounds like.
He's like, Scoops, man. Like, what the hell, man?
That's not what
And
that sounds like.
I don't know. He says man a lot. What the hell, man? And stuff.
Boobs.
Wait,
Scooby
what?
snacks.
I tuned out for a bit. What's happening?
I don't know, man. We're trying to get Scooby's voice.
Scoobies.
Yeah. Oh wait, I mean
That's
sorry, Shaggy. I meant Shaggy.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Zoinks. I don't know. Is that what he says?
That's
Zoinks.
he doesn't say
No.
zoinks. God damn it,
Zoink,
Jeff.
Scoob.
Damn
Scoob,
it.
we gotta get the meatball sub, Scoob.
That's perfect, Harrison.
What is Scoob? Oh, it's kind of like
Sounds like
almost
Morty.
like Morty.
Yeah.
Actually, Shaggy sounds like Morty.
Shaggy's Morty.
Oh my God.
He absolutely does.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez, Rick. I wish I knew like how to do a Rick impression. Like just burp a lot. You have to drink a lot.
Burp.
Really good.
How did we get here? It's a good question. Not sure.
You guys think about dismantling the state.
What?
What state?
What?
Which state?
You know how when in talking about government, sometimes people refer to like the government as the state.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, anarchy? Question mark.
Yes. Well, either anarchy or dismantling the state to put up a new state. Because I guess anarchy is like you dismantle the state, but then you don't really rebuild the state.
So you build a different state.
I guess so.
Huh.
Or What do you guys think about the idea of living outside of the state?
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean outside the state?
Like,
Like the upper side
because
or
like
something?
no, as in like when we talk about like like in the Civil War, it was like they were like we don't just want to secede from the Union, but we want to keep our land too. But what if they were just like we just want to leave the United States and make our own country elsewhere?
You can't. Can't.
Why can't we do that? I want to do, why I want to do
I
that,
mean,
Caleb.
you're not
I don't
wrong.
want I don't
Like,
want to I
why
don't want
can't?
well I don't
No,
I don't want to well I don't want to make a country. I just want to I want my own land, okay?
You have your, or like, you can have your
you
own land.
can have
That's
your own land.
that's the
Actually,
whole point
yeah.
of
Not really.
capitalism, is it not?
Territory.
Not really. Not really. You're paying taxes on that land. I want to get land and then just not have to pay taxes on it. I want to own it and then keep it forever until I'm dead. Commie? How does that make me a commie?
Because you're going against the U.S. government. Anything against that is communism. That's why.
Communism would be the opposite of what I'm doing. I'm talking about like libertarianism.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Well, I mean,
anarcho libertarianism
if you buy
or anarcho
territory off
individualism.
of someone else, then technically that's your land. You can't pay taxes if
Well, it is.
What?
No, you still no. In America, all land you have to pay taxes on.
That's lame. What if it's like? What if it just doesn't have any electricity? Like.
You still have to pay taxes on the land. There's
That's
a land tax.
that's
Actually, fun fact: you're not allowed to camp on your own land.
what?
Even if you have a building, you can't camp on your land for more than like a day. Do you want to know why? And I
Why?
learned this today. It's apparently because if they did that, then and this is kind of disgusting that the government does this, but it's because they don't want homeless people buying land. Because then that means that anyone could buy land but not build a house on it, and people aren't putting structures on their land, and they aren't
Oh, so yeah. Government hates homeless people.
Does the government even keep track of homeless people?
No, they're like not.
Then
I mean, wait. Yeah, no, they can't.
yeah, exactly. So can't like a homeless person like literally live wherever he wants as long as like no one catches him?
It's what's the word?
What?
Oh
What if?
like a
Yeah.
a vagabond. I don't know how the fuck you say it. It's like VAGABOND.
Wait, spell
A
it.
person who wanders from place to place without a home or job.
A hobo.
Yeah, sure. Nomads. Yes. But they're also yeah. They're the modern hobo. Wait, traveling hobo. The
Hobos
modern
do travel.
nomads. Usually they sit in one place and beg for money.
Really? I
Usually
thought
like in
they
a
were
city setting.
like going from place to place, except they didn't have a
How
destination.
it'd be taxing to move for them because they don't even have enough money for food.
Sure.
And sometimes you gotta feel bad for the homeless people.
Sometimes. Only sometimes.
It's not like I have them constantly in my thoughts and like I want to be helping them, you know? It's not, I'm not that type of person.
Well, when I was younger, I used to like, what's it called? When I was younger, every time like a homeless person would be like asking for money, I would always tell my dad like, "Yo, help the guy. He's homeless. He needs money." And I'd have to make my dad give him money. Like almost
Yeah.
every time.
No, you see, I've always grown up with the thought that those are the people I don't want to become, you know? It's
Mhm.
like I've never been to the city more than like a day.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I've been living a privileged life.
Mhm.
So that kind of makes me an ass.
All right. What about this, right? Okay. What about this? What if all four of us just straight up like, go missing until we're marked presumed dead, and then we build a
What the
house
fuck?
somewhere out
Yeah,
there?
that's actually Oh, guys, I have this idea that's this is like my dream life scenario, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
basically is dismantle from the United States and we make a small wholesome community where we're all emotionally intimate with each other and it's all great and we all love and care for each other. It's awesome. And it works because it's small. And small establishments are more stable than big ones. We're also self-sustainable. We don't have to pay taxes because we're not in the US.
Yes.
Where are you gonna get this land for our little
'Cause-
community?
Well, wait. But they do have satellite imagery, right? So we'd have to go underground and like find a cave, and then
Caleb,
just.
you do realize that they don't check that's not how that works. That's not how that
Yeah,
works.
but if they were to ever try, we'd like
There
it'd be
are
most
million.
safe if we found a
Wait,
cave and then
no,
we
wait.
went from there,
How the
and the cave would be our home.
population of the U.S. Population of the U.S.
Yeah, but if they
128
one day just
people.
find
Really,
a house in the middle of the forest that's unregistered, then
We
it's
need
like.
to use
they're not.
satellite imagery to find these homeless people.
Not gonna do that. You
No,
like
they
we
just
could
use
like there is
pigeons. It's just the pigeons.
Oh yeah, the pigeons. The
my
pigeons, Harrison. Oh, how are we supposed to avoid the pigeons if our house is in the middle of the forest and not in a cave?
you don't understand is and now this would be really risky.
What?
So when you think about it, actually it'd be riskier otherwise because the thing is if we do this and we don't renounce our citizenship, then we're tax evaders. And that's really bad. That is like federal prison.
No. But here's the thing: they can't tax the dead, Harrison. That's why we have to
Harrison, if
go
we're
missing
homeless,
first.
federal prison is good for us. That gives us a home.
Also,
What are they gonna do?
Caleb, you misunderstand. If we're homeless, if we're dead, then at that point we're technically our U.S. citizenship is just revoked.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly. Exactly.
But
It's
the
a
easier way to do
win-win.
that. But you realize
yeah.
you can just go. You don't have to like fake your own death to revoke your citizenship. You can just you're allowed to just do that.
Yeah, but
It's not recommended by or encouraged and talked about often because then you don't get social security or water or plumbing or any government services. Like there are people who do that.
I don't see the problem with being a U.S. citizen. Why can't we just stay?
I don't see the
Because
problem
taxes.
I don't see the problem
They're
with.
not that bad. If you don't earn that much, you don't have to pay that much.
But I'm lazy and I don't want to work.
Here's the thing: I
Yeah.
still like my idea of going missing and then being marked, presumed dead, and then live in a cave because caves are cool. You gotta admit, they're pretty cool.
We do need food.
What?
We do need food.
What if they're just like,
farming. We'll
we
find
haven't found a
berries.
body, so I guess he just left.
No, dude, Steven, those are there are real cases like that. Like they sometimes like
should-
after a really long time, what can you do?
Yeah, but how long are you going to be hiding out before
Forever.
you
Forever.
become homeless?
Forever. Forever.
Oh,
It's
no,
like
we're
a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. You need to like go into an abandoned warehouse.
because of course, realistically, in doing this, like getting food and stuff, like and cooking stuff is really hard. So what we should do is we still are U.S. citizens. We purchase and buy all the materials we need, everything we can need, build houses to start, and then we start a life on taxed property, have jobs, and we make it sustainable. Once we know we can make ourselves sustainable, then we revoke citizenship when we're confident that we can do so sustainably.
Wait, why would we do that?
Just to evade taxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do we still get to live in a cave?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we get to live in a cave.
I agree.
I
with
thought you
Harrison's
bought
idea. I
all the
think
materials to build a house. What?
we can build the house in the cave, The cave is the shelter.
You
It's
see.
like double
That's
shelter.
true. I've heard of that before.
You must understand. My reasoning for this is kind of stupid and selfish. My reasoning for doing this is because I simply do not want to contribute to the workforce nor society. That is all.
Exactly.
But neither do the government.
Yes, they do. That's what. Well, yes and no. Complicated.
Yeah, but
They
if
do-
you
they
were
do-
to actually do that, you know that they're just going to be like, well, we don't fucking care, right?
I know, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the whole idea. All
Bro,
we need to do is
it's a
revoke our
win-win.
citizenship. They're not gonna like you could if you revoke your citizenship and live off the grid, as
Yeah,
long as you aren't destroying property, if you just build your house out in the middle of a cornfield in Arizona, they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Harrison. If you go missing first, right, you have at least a 5% chance to get on the news.
Why
God,
do
that
I
was in
want
the
to get on the
newspaper.
Ooh, that's big.
Oh,
Gotta
that's
roll the dice.
positive.
That's a 20% chance for all four of us.
Why do we want to get in the newspaper?
Because
Wait,
it's
no, never
cool.
mind. That's not how
Because
chances work.
Because then we can get internet famous, and then once we're YouTubers, we'll have so much money we won't have to worry about taxes. We won't have to work at jobs we hate.
exactly.
We could do
It's like
scavenger hunt videos leading to our location, and then we'll become famous on.
Guys, what we should do? We should just hyperactively, just cash in on the brokenness of the algorithm, and then just farm money and crypto so that we can all retire early.
Yeah.
Not have to worry about taxes.
honestly,
The issue with taxes is not the.
I think I like Steven's idea. Like, if we do scavenger hunt, dude, we'd who the hell's gonna expect a house in a cave? Like, no one will ever expect.
We'll go viral.
Find the one that you seek, go to the metro, and then walk east.
No.
Bro, well, dude, it's perfect. It's a perfect plan.
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll do a cave with a stream inside it. That way we'll have a water source.
Wait, you know those YouTube videos of those guys who are crazy good at based builds and stuff?
Dude, we'll just
Yeah.
hire one of those. No. You know what? We'll kidnap
We
them.
become them.
And then
No!
we'll torture them until they
We'll make
their
it,
secrets.
but we'll film it so it makes it look like
Wait,
we're
what are we
doing the
doing?
work. We'll edit it.
Why are we kidnapping someone now? I got distracted for 5 seconds. What happened?
I'll send you guys a link of who we're kidnapping.
What the fuck?
Wait.
But
Yes,
like
you
Pete said,
can't
No,
leave
we
that
don't have
place.
homes.
We don't need to go in a cave. We can do what we want. We can roam the
Yes, we
wilderness and
do.
enjoy it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, no one will ever
We need to go in a cave.
Why do we need to go in a
It's
cave?
double shelter, and the
Steven wants to
satellites
go in
won't
a
see you.
cave.
You'll never make it as a homeless man, Harrison.
Okay, I'm gonna see if there's a political compass ball ideology of this. You know what
I want to fly in an airplane.
ball is?
That's all I want to do.
Never get off. Let's see. There's agrarianism, which is somewhat similar, but agrarianism is also very right wing. Right wing, like they're culturally right wing. Those darn immigrants. That's what I mean by right wing.
Okay, then.
This is anarcho-individualism. This is kind of like libertarianism, but we're libertarians because we don't want to pay taxes or work. Which is me.
I see.
I will get invented. I'm gonna go back in time and tell myself to invest in stock.
You should
Then
tell
we'll have
yourself
all the money we'll ever need.
Actually, no. All you have to do is go back and tell yourself invest in Bitcoin. Just buy
That's
like as
literally
much
it.
Bitcoin as possible.
Tell little Steven, please invest in Bitcoin on May 1st, 2013, and
Like
sell at December 2017 before the crash. And then I'm set for life.
be like, I know the BitConnect guy sounds crazy, but he knows what's going on.
No, don't listen to him. That's a scam.
What do you mean that's different than Bitcoin?
Yeah. It's the siren song
BitConnect.
of cryptocurrency. It's a lot.
Anarcho-individualism, or AND is short for an economically variable, although usually left-leaning, and culturally progressive anarchist ideology that emphasizes the individual and the will of the individual over external determinants, like society, group, tradition, and ideology, seeing the abolition of the state as the fullest realization of individual liberty. It's basically it's the equivalent of we live in a society.
I have an idea. I have an idea. What if we take Steven's time travel idea, right? And when we get a time traveling machine, we'll go back in time to the point where all four of us were toddlers, right? And we'll kidnap them, okay? And then we'll also take the present guy who from the videos, right? And then we'll force him to raise the four of us as we're toddlers. And then by the time
Oh my god. Then what happens to us? Because like the toddler versions of us are fine, but then what are we?
By the time the toddler versions get to our age, right, we'll already have all the knowledge we need. And we'll have experience.
What does this
Or
have
we
to do?
could just invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I think that seems better because then we don't even have to leave the government.
Kidnap
Like
ourselves.
if we just invested in Bitcoin, we wouldn't have to do any of this. Then we could just live within the government, not have to worry about paying taxes because we'd be set for life and retire early.
We'd be above the government if we put like a lot of money into Bitcoin. We'd be like actual multimillionaires.
Yeah, like if there was anyone who at that time invested every single last penny of their ownings into Bitcoin, they would probably be richer than Jeff Bezos.
Dude, there was this that like GameStop stuff was happening where people were investing in GameStop. One of those people turned into a millionaire. Imagine how much we could invest into GameStop with the money we get from investing in Bitcoin. It's like a tycoon game.
And then it just never ends, and at some point we stop investing because we just don't need to invest anymore.
As we die. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think like the scavenger hunt might make a lot more money.
Yeah, we should become online content
And then we
creators.
get all the cops doing the scavenger hunt, and then all the cops will be watching our videos too.
Then
we'll get like
we can't be
views. Bro, we'll be like what?
We can't be like good ones like Donkey because
Donkey.
We need money. We need to be like Ryan's toy review.
Yeah,
but if we do this scavenger hunt thing, we wouldn't just have dumb people watching our content. We'd have the cops watching our content, and that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
Because then when the cops become our fans, they're gonna make a law that you have to be our fans. And
dude,
we'll make more money.
We would constantly be making like billions, and literally, we would never get caught because no one's going to expect a house in a cave. Like
maybe we should become drop shippers from a cave.
We would last forever.
Till we die.
You said drop shippers? What?
People who sell products on Amazon.
Yeah, drop shippers.
They're scalpers, basically.
They're like international scalpers, yeah.
Oh my gosh! And we could sell each clue for the scavenger hunt for like a bunch of money.
We have a Patreon, and if we get 50,000 members on Patreon, we give away our location, and then we have to move.
And like how they put like a price on finding missing people, like dead or alive or whatever.
We'll just find
Dude,
ourselves.
so people will be motivated to find that, but they'll be constantly using money to get that prize money, and like,
And then once they find us and make their money back, we'll kidnap them and take the money they earned from finding us.
No, they're never gonna find us. That's the point, because our house is in a cave, and no one's going to expect that.
They'll never think to
Couldn't
check
they just
there.
couldn't they just like track our IP?
Our IP? What do you...
Okay, nerd.
Like, I guess we could use a VPN.
Can't track
but
the
like...
IP through a cave, can they?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
be,
that
like,
brings another issue.
Wait,
That brings another issue. How are we going to get internet?
Okay. We step outside the cave, and then we walk back in.
That's not how that works. There isn't just like internet in the atmosphere.
Oh shit.
There needs to be like a router.
We can have like an outside man who works at a library upload the videos for us.
Wait, yeah. Wait, I wonder if you're not a U.S. citizen, can you legally use the free Wi-Fi at like a local restaurant?
Why the fuck would a restaurant care if you're a U.S. citizen?
I don't know.
They check IDs when you... What the fuck?